Well, I know this is going to look absolutely horrible. I have no experience doing this, but I thought I'd give it a go creating maybe a podcast. Um, I guess that's what you call it. Anyhow, the content, frankly, will be most likely political, but I'll probably do some hunting things, some fishing things, outdoor things, things that I enjoy. Maybe some auto technician, mechanic stuff. But today, my biggest concern is the state of our nation, the state of the country that we live in, and the world all the way around. It's not a news story. It's not new news. But, I watched a clip of a video about this issue with Joe Biden, a couple years ago, back in, I believe, 2020. No, I apologize. It was prior to 2020. At the time, he was vice president. And in short, he had, let the leaders of Ukraine know that unless they fired the prosecutor that was investigating the, Russian oligarch that was paying his son $83,000 a month, then that they weren't going to go ahead with the loan guarantee, which is the reason that Joe Biden was in Kiev in the first place. He came to announce a $1 billion loan guarantee from the United States, and Joe Biden said, there's this prosecutor that is investigating this Russian oligarch. He's in the energy industry, and coincidentally enough, he is paying Hunter Biden $83,000 a month. That's $1 million a year, and he has no previous experience in the sector. And even in the event that he did, there are very few experts in their field that make $83,000 a month. Certainly, not a crackhead that, spends his, dad's allowance money on hookers and cocaine. Even if he had cleaned himself up, from that, no way he would have the time to compile the expertise needed to advise on a board of directors for an energy company. So, 10% of that money was going to what was referred to, or excuse me, who was referred to as the big guy. We all know that the big guy that was referenced is then Vice President, now President Joe Biden. And if that clear, monumental, treasonous act, that blatant crime can take place on the world stage, then we are doomed. If that can happen in the public, and Joe Biden brag about it with impunity, with no repercussions whatsoever, the infiltration is complete, folks. When we're sitting back and we're waiting for, the other shoe to drop, or we're waiting for, think it's bad now, it's going to get much worse. It is much worse. We're at that time. We are at the time that, people say that they're waiting for. Hey, it gets so bad at some point we're going to have to fight, and I'm going to stand my ground. That time is now. Our country, our government is silencing the voices of opposition, especially the Democrat Party. You can tuck your head in the sand and live in a world in which you don't believe that's happening, believe it's hype, believe it's conspiracy theory. But you literally would have to be a fool to believe that. And the sad part is there's a huge contingent of Americans that are either ignorant of what's going on because they just can't think freely. They have been sidetracked, or captivated, or captured rather, by the little cage that they hold in their hands every day, or they are willfully ignorant. They know these things are going on, but they dismiss them. These midterms that just took place, in my opinion, tells me the future of this nation. I watched for a long time, and I've told my family and others that you watch this election, and it's going to tell you the fate of America. Because if after 2 years the Democrat voters did not leave that party and vote Republican in droves, it tells you that the mind control, the brainwashing, the ideological subversion is complete. Regardless of where you stand politically, if you have a pulse and a single brain cell, you should have been able to plainly see over the last 2 years that Joe Biden and the Democrat Party have disassembled and destroyed this country. And you should be able to vote with your head and say, hey, look, I may not like the candidate. I may not like, Donald Trump, be that, he would be running for president. But, we haven't even come to that. These midterms show us that no matter what people are being subjected to, that the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party, which is, the legacy media, is doing their job and dumbing down the people. I hate to say that, but people these days, especially those of the Democrat Party, they believe Beyonce, they believe Dave Chappelle. They look to these people for their thoughts on political issues, when they have never put forth a policy. They haven't spent a moment of their time studying or practicing in any way any of the things that they suggest. They are totally 100% relying on your emotion, trying to give you an emotional response. They are trying to amp you up with stories that make you feel good, or they make you feel bad, or just this anecdotal evidence. They take a small portion of America, a small portion of events, and they amplify that and try to pass it off as though it's the voice of the entire nation, when the facts are really, America wants to have strong borders. We want to know who is coming into our country. And don't get me into this, nobody's illegal. No, their personhood is not illegal, but their status in America is illegal. And every person that comes in here illegally, that circumvents the line of people, across the world that can't just border hop, okay? We want immigrants, and in fact, we take lawfully about 1 million every year. That's more than any other country in the world. So we're doing more than any other country. But Democrats act as though we're doing nothing. Americans want strong borders. Americans want the right to defend their homes. They want freedom of speech. They don't want censorship. And censorship is happening on a grand scale, even to the extent that there are arms of the government now that are dedicated directly to, censoring people. If a post is flagged through this new system, then they can just take it down. America has never been a censorship country. We have always let voices be heard. And listen, that's the best way to get rid of these bad ideas, to get rid of this idiocy, some of these fallacies, is to let them be heard, because in practice, in utility, they fall flat on their face. And most of them are absurd from the onset. People can see that. People can see the failures. But because they will not work in the real world, and because many of them sound absurd if you were to just say what they were from the onset in plain English. They have to censor, number one, the other side, and they have to deliver this poisonous doctrine to you in a palatable fashion. Those are the things that weigh heavy on my mind. Those are some of the things that we'll try to bring forth in this podcast, this channel, this, whatever you want to call it that I'm trying to start here. Obviously, the video is horrible. This will definitely be edited. You may actually hear these words over a totally different video. But I thought I'd give it a shot. I thought I would get on here and, put forth a little bit of what I was thinking and see if I could, continue to, put a few these trains of thought together concisely, articulable, and in a way that would make sense, that would sound intelligent, and not get too distracted and off point. Many times my mind is going, a million miles a minute. And I guess I should have prefaced with this. Obviously, I am a white male, 41 years of age. I'm married. I have 4 children. Amazing children. 2 of which are in my home, on a constant basis. Two from a previous marriage. Obviously, I'm a Republican. I was an opiate addict for many years. I've been 10 years clean now. I'm actually a non-smoker, and I've been a non-smoker for about 8 years now. So I have experienced every side of life that you can. I had a good upbringing, but I ended up literally sleeping on the streets at one point in a place here in Indiana, in Indianapolis, called Hallville. And if you know anything about that place, you will learn quickly that a person of my complexion, let's say that, is not too welcome there. So I've lived in hard places. I've experienced hard times. Much of that from my own doing. The work of my own hands. I believe in God. I know that God is the creator of all things, and that Jesus Christ is his son, and the one and only way to salvation. We are not all going to the same place, but taking different roads. I hate to burst some bubbles, but there is one way, the truth, and the light, and that is Jesus Christ. Without his blood being applied to your life, there is no remission of sins without the shedding of blood, and Jesus Christ was the blood that was shed for us. Firm believer in the Second Amendment. I hunt, I fish, I eat what I kill. I'm not in the camp that have the train of thought that you kill for sport. Now, don't misunderstand me when I hunt. I hunt for meat sometimes, but sometimes I hunt for the biggest buck I can kill. But regardless, it still gets used. It still gets put to use. So that's a little bit about myself. Give me some responses. Let me know what I need to brush up on, what was good, what was bad. I need to edit this. I need to do some things different. And you can spare me that, the video was bad and I couldn't see anything. I know that. This was just I'm out in the truck. Let's see if I can, put some words together kind of thing. So I'm aware of that, but I kind of hesitate to edit this because it's raw, it's uncensored, it was unplanned. So I thought maybe I'll just put this out there and, I have thick skin, so just get the response from some people out there to let me know, well, what do I need to brush up on, or frankly, tell me, look, man, you're just you don't have the face, you don't have the voice, you don't have the articulation, you don't have the package that's required to make something like this happen. So, thanks for listening this far. If you made it this whole, 15 minutes, I know one thing I got to work on right now is looking at the camera and my eyes moving. I can see that. So, thank you guys for listening. God bless you.